Like I haven't spoken all day today. So strange. Oh man. This is my dear diary. Today is the 31st of May. And I feel like my life right now is more or less a repeat of last year. Every time I record something, I've noticed I clean my keyboard, sweep my hand over it. It's like I notice all the dust when I'm doing this. So then I go like this to clean it up. And so a repeat of last year. In what way? In many ways. In many ways, even in the way that I feel. I feel like since I've decided to be Phoenix, I have lost gigs completely. And I've noticed this is a recurring thought of mine. Of where has gigs gone? Where has that personality, that energy gone? It's like I've completely forgotten about her and she's not present that much in my life lately. Very rarely. I'm still at a point of life doesn't make sense. And going to do oh my god, okay, I'm going to do this job that in theory is fucking perfect. It's perfect. I even wrote it down. I wrote it down at this point probably about a month ago. I wrote down that I wanted to work in an office with a small team where everything is nice and clean so I don't have to, so I can allow my nails to grow. Basically, that was my thought process. So my hands are clean all the time and I'm wearing nice clean clothes and I'm just in a lovely environment with small team of people that love what they do and that have fun going to work. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, which I've never in my life worked. I'm 39, mind you, and I've never worked one of those jobs. So, in my little note that I put, as I just said, I never put a time frame, none of that. Got reached out by a recruiting agent. I probably applied for this job, but I don't remember because I applied for so many jobs that I have no clue what I applied to and what I haven't. But anyway, the position is a client service administrator. That's what the title of my position is. I have started on Wednesday, today is Saturday, and it can't be more of what I have written down on paper. It's a small team, 4 people, I'm the 5th. I think I probably spoke about this in my previous Dear Diary. And they are so giddy with each other. They're so fun. They're so I don't know, like yesterday they were throwing papers at each other, which was so, I don't know, so cool, so endearing. They're so endearing, all of them. They all have their own little loving energy. So on paper, it's all perfect. Why am I saying that on paper? Because I see myself in front of that computer and ask myself constantly, why am I here? Why am I here? What is my why? What is my why? What is the purpose of me being here? Because besides going through the breakup and understanding that and integrating that, it feels like none of this makes sense. It still doesn't make sense. And I know I've asked many times in my life for growth and for certain things, and this is in a financial institution, which to me it means I'm going to learn a lot of things that will probably help me in that growth that I've been asking for. And at the same time, I can't stop seeing myself on a beach, living the easy life, doing some gardening and growing my own plants, walking barefoot everywhere I go, with flowy clothes and not a care in the world, meeting people that are my people, that I can have great conversations with. At this point, this is the one downside I find about this place, that they talk about what are you having for lunch and what are you having for tea and what are your plans for the weekend and living for the weekends and living for the holidays, which in my head is like, oh my god, how do people live like this? I don't understand how people live like, I don't understand how people live this life of going to a job and Can't wait for the holiday, can't wait for the weekend. It's so mind-blowing to me. And at the same time, I'm doing it too. Why? Because I need to sustain my body in this world. And for that, there's the need of this currency that we use that's called money for exchange of value. And because I don't know where life is taking me right now. And I feel like I constantly have to remind myself when I was saying that what is my why and why am I here? I have to constantly remind myself to accept that I am here and that this is what's happening in my life. And that there's a reason for everything. Because if there wasn't, I wouldn't be here. There's a reason why me and Isaiah broke up. Fuck, do I want to talk about that? I do actually. A few nights ago, oh fuck. Oh, this is so very raw still. Wow. Okay. A few nights ago, I came home from my new job, and I couldn't wait to get in my room and cry. Because all throughout the day, I kept feeling these feelings. And when I left from work, I listened to a voice message that Isaiah left me. And in the one thing that was always a certainty, this time around it's not a certainty, of if you were here, I would be with you in an instant. But as you're not, and as life has taken us apart so many times and has brought us back together, and now we're apart anyway, he's leaving the door open to other people. And what I mean by other people, it's other relationships. It's like all of a sudden it all switched from we're gonna find ways to be together into because we are apart now and we've separated again, I'm just gonna allow myself to try new things, which, as much as my human self hurts at that idea, there's the other part of me that wants that for him. You know, the observer part, the looking outside of the box part, the zooming out part of, we've been talking about this for so many months, of I can't be his forever person considering he's 22. That would be impossible in my brain. A part of me believes that it is possible, but a part of me is like, can that really be? And of course, we meet people for different stages of our life and for different things that we need to learn for that stage of life. And at the same time, I couldn't help but sit here. I couldn't sit on this bed, by the way. I sat on the floor and cried my heart out. Cried to the point of desperation. And I felt like there was so much energy coming out of me. Like a complete death. And as I'm saying this story, I just remembered Abraham saying, don't keep talking about the old story. And yet here I am talking about the old stories. So to circle this back up to, this feels like a repeat of last year. I believe that it is a little bit like that because of some lessons that I haven't learned, or because things are just happening quicker. So the things that I haven't learned are coming back in my face real fast. And I do believe that the theme for me right now is, where am I abandoning myself? Because I have noticed that this is a recurring pattern of mine of putting my energy fully on the other person, whether it's romantic or friendship. Because I remember being in this really codependent friendship in one of my previous lives when I was called JoJo. And oh my God, it had a little bit of the same energy as now of, don't leave me. So in the meantime, here I am, sitting on this bed, I was gonna say trying to accept where I am, because I really feel like I am trying, not being. I'm trying. I notice my mind can't focus on one narrow, this is my goal and this is my vision. It gets distracted. And my intention truly is to fully disconnect from anything and anybody that is not aligned with my whatever path. Because I've noticed that I give my power away without even realizing quite a bit. And this thing of people wanting you in their life, and they're gonna make sure that you're in their lives, and oh my god, it just feels like even that there's friendships that I feel that are not there, like things that I would want to experience are not there, mostly on my own still. And I don't think that I want that to change. It's so funny, because I hear myself saying that I'm on my own, and at the same time I want to interact with people, but not any people. Not I does have a tint of judgment for sure, because I observe myself and I've noticed how I roll my eyes to things that people say, and oh my god. And then I'm like, oops. Because I forget that everybody's at different levels of consciousness. And not necessarily that, but everybody's different anyway. Not everybody's going to believe what I believe. But more often than not, lately, I believe that my Scorpio moon is really showing its head out. Because I've noticed I have so little tolerance for bullshit. And I think that's partly why I keep myself away from other people. Because I can't talk about the weather and about, oh my god, interactions between people and complaining and relationships that are this way and that way. I cannot have conversations like that. It just drains the soul out of me. So I just avoid them. Maybe one day that will change. Maybe one day I'm going to be able to just listen and not care. I think now I listen and don't care still. But in a different kind of way. Like, listen and have compassion. Have more compassion. Because at the moment I've noticed my compassion volume is kind of low. It's there because I become aware every time, which I'm very grateful for. The part that I am extremely aware. And I've heard, oh, Deborah, oh my god, Deborah Silverman. That woman is just, oh, anyway, I've heard her talk recently about, I don't know how this came to her, this thing that she does. She says it out loud, observer on. And it's like a game. It makes you so aware of where you are and what you're doing. And I like to play that game, not necessarily in those terms, but because that's the way that she's using it. But I've noticed for me, it really is setting up the intention at the beginning of the day to just be aware that I'm aware, and then become aware. And then I'm like, oh, I'm aware now. And then I become unaware again. And it turns into this game. So that's my story. As you see, learned my lesson, and so did she. If you know, you know. Whoever knows this song, oh my god. Anyway, where am I going now? I do intend that one day I'm gonna sit in front of this camera and just speak all the magic that's happening in my life. Maybe I can speak it now. Okay, let's play this game. So, what is the magic that I envision for myself? This is the thing. Walking, because every time when I walk, of course, I have all these magical ideas. I don't even have enough imagination, I don't think, for what life has in store for me. And many times I limit it by the ideas of what I would want, like my human self would want to experience. And in all fairness, my human self right now, the only thing that it wants to experience is bloody peace. Not bloody, but just peace. 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 I just want peace. I want peace in my life. I don't want I'm not going to talk about what I don't want. I just want peace. Peace and joy and harmony within myself. Just within myself, because I live in this brain and in this heart and in this body. I just want peace. That's all. And if I were to go a step further, I really want to have more interactions with people that are more like-minded. But not just over this, not just over a camera or over a phone or a call. I want physical human interaction with people, that I can have conversation that uplift my spirit and my soul, that I can grow and they can grow into as well. So when I say that, I don't mean like romantic. At this point, I don't even imagine or envision any romantic relationship happening ever in my life. I know I believe that once I split up from my ex-husband. This is so different though. It's so different because of the part of where I am in life right now and the way I see the world, and this belief that how many people are there that are gonna tick those boxes that I have, these imaginary boxes that I didn't even know existed. So anyway, besides the romantic part, so people, I would love to have my own little garden of planting stuff and doing shit in the garden, even if it's just flowers to start with. Because then I'm gonna be like, ooh, I can plant some lettuce because I know how to do that, and radishes and spinach. I've noticed that that's changed too. This desire to eat healthier. And it's not even because I've got this idea that I want to lose weight or whatever. I'm just drawn to eating healthier. So, garden part, flowy, flowy clothes. I just want this flowy hippie. I have this hippie idea in my head. Hence, I guess, why my fringe is on there. Because see, my fringe is normally here lately. And I do love my fringe, I do. But today I decided, what if I let it grow again? What if I let it grow with all my hair? And just see where it goes. Because I think at a certain point I cut it because I love it so much and because I love the way it looks. But I also had hair deciding to flee situation. So anyway, oh my god, I don't think I've laughed in a while. Maybe I need to do this more often just to get myself giggling. I feel like I'm in this energy, constant energy of just, and I do feel like I'm putting so much energy in just keeping grounded, but not necessarily grounded, but it is actually calm and not fucking exploding, because I feel like I can explode at it every second, whether, oh my god, exploding into cry or exploding out into the ethers. I just feel like because of the pain that I feel in my body, there's a part of me that just wants to get out of here. Like, I just want to get out of here. Where exactly, I don't know. And I also feel that I don't belong. I don't belong here. Here, as in Worcester, where I live right now. And I know that the next step will show itself. But going back to where I want to be, or what I would like to experience in my life. A romantic relationship, I said I'm not interested at this point. What else? So people, garden, my own little home. As much as okay, so I'm gonna go to the next step of the traveling after, but I would like to have a home somewhere. And when I say home, I don't mean anything fucking fancy. It could be a hut that I have a room to sleep in, a bit of a kitchen and a bathroom, and that's it. That's all I want. That's all I want. And constant stream of income from somewhere that would allow me to go travel, because that's the next one. I think the travel bug has been installed in me through the adventures of 2023 in the US and the adventures of 2024. Well, actually, that was just another kind of fucking adventure. But then the traveling bits that I've done with Isaiah, and generally, I think even beforehand, it's been in the back of my head, but I never brought it to the forefront because I never thought it was a possibility for me. Because I remember watching things on the telly when I was in one of my previous lives as a married person, and thinking, oh, I would love to go there, I would love to go over there, but that's never going to happen for me. And now it's like, I can actually do that. And I would love to be able to do that. I would love to learn to swim like proper people do, not just float and barely keep myself up there, but just the proper swimming that I could jump in the freaking water and just. I would love to learn that. I would also love to be more gigs. I feel like I miss gigs so much, and I'm probably gonna start introducing myself as gigs again because I miss her a lot. I feel like I have become, and it's so funny because Phoenix would incorporate gigs as well. Because oh god, we're looking at, this is a bracket now, but looking at quadrant theory, which my beautiful friends Emma Scott have put out into the world. There's 4 quadrants in our brain. One, which is at the front, which is your personality, your doer, your blah, blah, blah. That's my JoJo. Whoever knows me as JoJo, that's my quadrant 1. Quadrant 2, which is in the back, which is your inner child that never grows, the emotional part, the going into oh my god stuff. That is Yuana, because that is my first name that I was ever given. That's where all my default self stuff is in. Then we got quadrant 3, which in my, because I figured this out as I was going through the course, by the way. Quadrant 3 is my gigs. That's the excitement. That's the child that's ready to play, that's having fun, that's outgoing. That is gigs. That is my gigs. And then 4 is the wisdom, the higher power, the higher self, the one that sees it all, knows it all. So in my names, that's Phoenix. But I feel like I have forgotten being into Phoenix. I feel like I've done this Phoenix JoJo part, even though I haven't called myself JoJo, but taking on the personality of that just well, maybe it hasn't even been that now that I think about it. It's been this and this, Iwana and JoJo. Even though I present myself as Phoenix, I feel like those two have taken control over my life lately. Holy shit. So there has been no gigs. There's been no playfulness as much. It's only been suffering and oh my god, poor me, and life sucks. So with that in mind, ending the bracket there. I would love to experience more of my gigness in my life. And to have more fun conversations with people, more fun interactions with people, more lightheartedness, more oh my god, even this part of I had this idea of hosting a retreat. And then the more I think about hosting a retreat, the more I'm like, I don't want to teach anybody anything. I don't feel like I want to teach. I am not in a place to teach, but not because God knows imposters, not even imposter syndrome at this point. It just feels like that's not what I'm here to do. In my head, I'd rather mingle with people that are already doing this work and enter in other realms per se, maybe not realms is the right word, and do work in there. How? I don't know how that would be. I think, oh wow, this goes back to the one vision that I had when I was doing some work with Cara Freya Jade. If you guys want to look her up, she's on Instagram, she's on Facebook, she's a being. I don't think this woman is human. She's just a being. Anyway, so I was doing work with her, and in one of the sessions that I've done with her, one of the lives that I've seen, because we were doing past life regression, by the way, but one of them was a future one. And I could see Easter Island and the statues, and I was wearing this sort of futuristic gown, cape, I don't know what to call it. It was like a long thing, and I could see like that neckline, straight lines, all of that. and my hands were out. I wasn't this person. My hands were out, and I could see circles of energy just coming out of my hands, and that was the that was the sound that I could hear coming out of my hands, which meant I knew it meant energy going into the earth. Oh my god! And this is, I just want to learn to finish a thought process before I go into the other one, because I just thought of the experience that I had in breathwork today. Oh god, hold that thought please for me and remind me. Anyway, so in that's what I would want to do. It's like I'd rather be with people that have already done a lot of work on themselves, because I know the work on yourself never ends somewhat. While you're still here, you're forever growing. So maybe not work on yourself, but growing, expansion. So I'd rather meet with people that have expanded to a certain extent that I can expand further with. That's it. That is what I would like to experience. Now, the breathwork in the morning. It was so interesting because I had a thought as I was probably the third round of, today I'm going to have my food delivery because I have actually ordered food online because and, and as I was in the breathwork, I was like, this thought came in of my food deliveries come in, and then I thought they're gonna bring it into plastic bags. And then the next thought was not thought as such, it was a feeling of how much it hurts Earth to have plastic in it. And it was unbearable. It was unfreaking bearable. Unbearable. I couldn't bear it. I could not bear it. I could feel the pain of the earth in having plastic on it, in it, all over it. And it was like, oh, I couldn't hold that energy. It was unbearable. The pain that it brought on, to feel the pain of the earth having plastic on it. And I thought, oh my god, I'm adding to it. But now to circle to it, to make it into a nice story, I forget that I'm in the UK. And in the UK, people, there's a lot of good stuff about the UK that I forget about. One of the good stuff is a lot of them are really trying to get rid of plastic. I even noticed, even though I don't buy nappies anymore, so I don't have babies for nappies, but I was walking down that aisle and I could see big packs of nappies that were normally in plastic bags. They're in paper bags now. I'm like, oh my god, how freaking exciting that. Where was I going? Oh, the plastic. Oh yeah, so in my thought of, oh, this person is gonna come with stuff, I thought, I remember going to the stores recently, and I can see the people that are doing the online shopping for other people in the store, and they just put it in these containers, in this big plastic containers. There's no bags in there. There's no plastic bags in there. And I thought, oh, maybe I need to wait and see what happens when this person comes in. And mind you, they came in with 2 big containers of whatever my stuff was, and I did get an email to say, bring your own bags, please. I've been looking at that bloody hair on my toe because I can just about see my toe, and I could see there, so I took it off. Anyway, bring your own bags so you can put them in there because we're trying to help the environment and whatever. And I was like, oh my god, what a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing to do. To have your own bags carry around. I carry around bags with me. I've got these little Waitrose ones that go into a little pouchy. Of course, they're not the biggest bags, but they're better than anything else. So now I believe that me talking here has actually raised my frequency. I believe that there are so many experiences that I will experience in this lifetime that I'm not even able to imagine. This is why a lot of the times that process of visualization and manifestation in my head is bullshit. Because you can visualize and imagine and try to create all these things. They're never going to happen exactly as you imagine them anyway. They're normally better. But then this is the other part. if I focus so hard on this, I want this, like I'm keeping it in this box when life may have some other, which takes me to why I keep going to this job that I just started. Partly because I don't know what's next. I even told, this is how aligned this job is with me right now. I even told one of the bosses there. I don't know if I want to call him a boss. One of the people, Andy. He is my boss, but I don't know what to call him. Anyway, I told him, normally when I start something, I kind of have an inkling of where it's going to go, or a feeling or an intuition. Like the care job that I'd done before this, I knew I wasn't going to do that for long. It was a knowing inside of me. I didn't know when it was going to end, but anyway, this one I cannot have any. I don't have any intuitions around it. So that part shows me that it's totally in the unknown. So in a way, it shows me that whatever work I'm doing in the unknown with my minuscule meditations and breath work and everything that I do in those realms, it's manifesting somewhere. Because this is completely in the unknown. Even the fact that I'm learning new systems, I'm learning new things, I am doing something new that I haven't done before. Even though I've done some sort of admin before, this is like completely different subject, different. Everything is different. Everything is different. Whew. So in the meantime, this is my inner exploration right now. And I believe that my default self, that one, E1, has a tendency to think of the worst outcomes. And when that takes over, it really takes over. It really puts fear into my body. And then I cannot see outside of the fear. And then I think I have to remind myself, which is what I'm practicing. See, I think that's better than I'm trying to. I am actually practicing this. I'm practicing acknowledging where I am and what is happening in my brain and being the observer of my experience. So I am practicing that, which is great. I do love the part that I love about the Phoenix personality that I'm currently embodying is that I am more grounded. I am not as explosive and as I would say even sharp. There have been so many times when I want to tell people what I see. Things of what I see. I just want to tell people what I see and stop myself from it because I know and I recognize that they would not understand it. So, and that doesn't come from an egotistical place. It really comes from a discernment, I guess, of mine, of this person is not gonna hear, it's not gonna, it doesn't have the capacity, I guess. Oh, fuck, that probably sounds weird, but I don't know who said this. Sadhguru, maybe somebody else. Of when you want to share something with somebody, acknowledge whether they're at a place to hear it and understand it. And if they're not, no, don't say it. So there I am, many times, talking to people and thinking, or not even talking to people, because lately my talking has become listening quite a lot, which is great. And I guess this is my outlet for talking. Because of the listening part that I feel like I've gone deeply in. And I think because of that energy that I was describing earlier, of just putting so much energy into being calm and being here, that I feel like that is, it's stopping all that explosion and going out of my body. I put so much energy into that I'm just observing and listening, observing and listening, which is the best I can do right now for myself. Because I don't want to freak out and lose my shit all over the place. I totally could. There have been so many times throughout this past month at least, because of the recent breakup, that I just want to burst into tears. It feels like this wave of, and I just want to cry. I just want to cry. It's like overwhelming pain and terror that just wants to take over me, that feels like this big rupture has happened in my soul. So that makes me want to cry a lot. But I believe that after what happened, 2 days ago, after that massive death that I've had, oh God, it was so massive that it knocked me out. Like I went to bed early. My body was so tired. After that, it just feels like I have more acceptance of the pathway that we're both choosing. And in saying that, as much as I have that acceptance, I've noticed it's still a little bit of a struggle. A lot of a struggle. My God, I'm talking about it again. It's challenging. It's just challenging to navigate it sometimes. But I am getting better, and I know I'm getting better and better every day. And the more I remind myself, and oh my God, this in my head has had a lot of sharpness to it. I am gonna say it, but might edit it out. So if it's not gonna be there, you know that I took it out. I'm prefacing it, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh, what did she say? She cut it out." But then I have to let all that out of my head. So the sharpness that came with it. So I'm imagining this is the part that I edit out. What I just said. Oh my God. All in all, people have their own lives and make their own choices to where they want to be and what they want to do with themselves. And who's to say that they don't learn out of them? So in that, I think I am done with my talking to myself. I feel like I really needed to voice out certain things, especially when it comes to the new things that I would like to experience in my life. And see where this is going to go from here. Because as I previously said, I feel like I've turned into a listener and observer when I get a chance to talk, which is mainly like this. And why is that? Because I feel like if I start talking, everybody looks at me like I've got 4 heads and some unicorn sticking out of each of them, plus maybe some other green tail dangling at my back. I don't know. That's what it feels like. Because I can tell the reaction of people when I open my mouth sometimes and I say stuff. It's like, anyway, I guess that's my Aquarian side, which is very forward thinking. And anyway, that's it, folk. Thank you for listening. From my dear diary. 4. Thank you for listening to my dear diary. That's probably better.